drive it down your throat. They're first in drives. They're trying to get to the rim. So moving your feet, trying to play without your hands. They try to get to the free throw line. Show some discipline there.
And usually that first home game after a long road trip can be a little rugged. Sidy Cissoko, Adeni Avdia, Jeremy Grant, Toumani Camara, and Donovan Clingan starting for Portland. And right down the lane, Cissoko flies in for the first bucket with Steph, Moses Moody, Will Richard, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green starting for the Dubs.
You got to see man and ball off the ball, because when someone's driving from one side, best believe there's probably going to be a cutter from the other side.
Moody around Avdia. Shot clock at 7. Draymond being dared to shoot that 3 and rimming that out. Jeremy Grant, he is a bucket. He had over 30. Avdia had over 30 in their loss to the Bulls. Sissoko missing. The size of Portland on display as Avdia goes about 6'9" and Clingan over 7 feet.
There's going to be a lot of long rebounds, like you saw Avdia get that one. The circle of honor, free throw line extended all the way around. You got to push them past that if you can.
Toumani Camara is an outstanding defender. He is shadowing Steph wherever he goes. Moody off iron and Clingan the rebound.
They want some length on Steph, so he's going to try to move off the ball and see if they can keep up with him.
Avdia will settle for the 3. Likes to drive, but he's become more than a capable perimeter shooter.
And he's taking advantage of every mistake. 2 defenders for a split second. One with Cissoko, and you got to be aware who the more dangerous player is in that scenario.
Steph Curry off back iron. Warriors looking for their first bucket. Steph with an ankle tweak. Jimmy Butler's got a low back strain that they're playing tonight. And Draymond just gave Clingan a dunk.
Well, that was just kind of a bad bounce. They were hoping Moses Moody was going to be able to draw that charge. He didn't get the call. Is it the start you want? The Warriors trying to get off the schneid here.
Yeah, against Miami it was 20-4. And Will Richard cutting off the Butler delivery.
And cross pass with Steph. 2 defenders hesitate. It's enough to get Will Richard in there.
A big part of Portland winning the first battle against the Warriors by 20 was the team in the NBA.
Weird things happen. You're trying to make a miss. I always like to see former players get head coaching jobs. It seems like point guards and role players make really good head coaches, as Jeremy Grant gets in their league and how to impact winning, understand a guy trying to get in the league, and also understand what its guys play as hard as possible.
Grant 1 of 2 from the line. I'm going to tell Steve you called him a role player, and he's going to say,
"You're right.
My role in my 9 rings."
Yeah. Was he a role player or was he not? He said he's a role player.
Completely a role player. Having fun. But be a star in your role.
Absolutely.
You said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's not going to be Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
Absolutely.
He was a shooter. Draymond, he's a shooter. Dropped in at 3. So got that 3-point percentage back to 36%. That's fine. Nice steal, Jimmy Butler. Will Richard into 2-on-1. Moody spaces out. Rocks into the triple. There you go.
Well, Warriors got their engine started. But once they did, they got to going pretty fast. Fired up.
And Moody knocked that away from Avdia. Forced the jump. Kevin Cutler, the crew chief, has got good height. And he threw a good tap.
And so does Avdia. That's the problem.
Will Richard nearly had the pickpocket. Shot clock at 7. And Grant will rise. Richard contested that and didn't foul him.
Because of another long rebound. Long shots equal long rebounds.
Yeah, Clingan's 7'3", but he's 280. You know, we saw Wembanyama who's probably 7'7", and Clingan dunking that down.
So it's going to be tougher for Draymond to play cat and mouse, stab at it, and jump backwards. Again, because of Clingan's size, his catch race, you can throw it up so much higher.
Butler attacking. Moody on the counter, breaks the paint again. Foul line jumper. So Moses Moody, 2 of 3 early. He's got 5.
So it could be a Moses Moody game. He could be the guy to step up and say, I'm going to help the Hall of Famers out here.
Avdia spacing out to Grant. They both had over 30 against the Bulls. Avdia missing there. I like how Will Richard came in. Draymond's like, all right, I'll get Clingan out of there, but I need someone else to go get the ball.
And his guy wasn't going, so what do? You pursue the ball.
They jump at Steph. Thrown away. That's the Warriors.
Well, Steph had the right
turnover.
Steph had the right idea. He got a good screen, and Clingan was in front of him, so he drove him. He just didn't really have an outlet once he picked it up.
Yeah, Avdia started. Look at that. Another lob to Klingon. The last 2 months of last year, Avdia was one of the best players in the entire NBA.
But that's where it starts with on-ball defense. He just picked up his speed and changed of pace there. Oh no, Draymond turned it over.
Okay, this was discussed relentlessly on the road trip. Not a nice beginning with back-to-back giveaways.
Well, the Blazers are third in opponent turnovers, but that's not a forced turnover there.
Klingon will get to the line.
Curtailing, tempering their boldness, their audacity. The 1975 there, Rick Barry, almost 30 points a game.
So Klingon dropping in the second free throw. 7th pick out of UConn 2 years ago.
It would be nice to see the Warriors have success against a team like this that plays this fast and just know they can control a team like this. Slow down the pace when they need to, have it fast when they want it to. Just dictate the terms of this game.
Draymond offense.
Draymond kind of couldn't stop his momentum from going forward there.
Yeah, Toumani Camara all defense last year. GP2's first playing time. You see Avdia just kind of creating for everybody as Love missed that.
Well, Moses
out of bounds is Portland ball.
Caleb Love is known for his clutch gene, kind of a scoring point guard than him with ease.
Chris Murray down the lane. Al Horford says no.
Ooh, GP2.
Steph turning and missing that three.
But I'm okay with that because Draymond didn't feel comfortable with the pass and he thought maybe he would turn it over as Al Horford blocks the shot.
Al Horford blocking Love again. Klingon first man to the ball. That skip pass somehow got to Camara. Avdia 38